Okay, so for those of you that do not have access to Photoshop, even if you're able to get it for free through the university's IT department and that email that was sent out, maybe your computer doesn't run it and you need a free alternative. Canva should work for what I'm asking you to do. Canva is spelled Canva.com, so Canva.com. It's basically just Canvas without the S. And it should work as far as getting you a triptych design of some kind. It's going to be a little bit simpler than Photoshop. It's not going to have all of the same bells and whistles. So I'm sorry if that's something that you wanted to do, but it should get you at least a basic triptych design. And this is going to be graded more so on how well you tell a story, and what the design looks like and what your pictures look like than it is based on how much you edited it. So this should serve as a pretty good alternative for those of you that do not have Photoshop. In my case, I'm going to use a couple pictures of ballerinas that I did not take. Obviously, in your case, you want to make sure that any photos you use are your original work, but just to show you what I'm doing, I just took some images of ballerinas off Google, saved them to my desktop, and I'll upload them to Canva when I need them. But in Canva, you can create custom dimensions if you want to have something really wide. You have a bunch of options based on mostly social media. Um, so you have business card, CD cover, calendar, card, certificate, desktop wallpaper, all that stuff. I'm going to choose desktop wallpaper just because it's nice and sort of horizontal and sort of the rectangle shape that you want if you're going to put three different images on the same page. And what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to upload those images of the ballerinas I took. This is, from earlier. I was just kind of screwing around. But let's see, the images of the ballerinas. So I have this one, and then might need to move my microphone for a second so I can press Shift on the keyboard. Okay. I'm just going to say open. So now I have those to play with. And the next thing I'm going to do, one thing that you can do just to get kind of a different background color, if you just click on this background here, and let's say that you want it to be black or blue or red or white or what have you, you can make it whatever color you want to make it. We'll go, what's that, kind of purple-ish. Well, let's see. That's closer to SFA, so I'll do that. Purple-ish just for this assignment. And then if you look under Elements, you should have, I already kind of selected it from something I was doing before, but if you look under Elements, oops, and you go to Shapes, you'll notice that all those rectangle images, or those rectangles that you see a lot of triptychs use, you have something that looks like that in Canva. So if you have three different versions of that. If you want to use a different shape, you're welcome to if it looks right. I think rectangles are probably going to look the best because they do look like most other triptychs use. But let's say I just want to grab this particular rectangle, and I want three of them so that my image can go in these. Or my images can go in these, and you'll notice that in Canva, just like in Photoshop, you have kind of these purple lines that sort of guide where your alignment is. And so if I do that, that's actually a pretty good way of aligning those. I mean, and I kind of want to have some borders, some border color to each of these. So again, going with the SFA theme, I'll make these white, and you'll notice I'm just clicking on whatever object I'm dragging into Canva, and I'm going up here to this little square that says color when I hover over it, and I'm just clicking on this white color. And then all I really need to do from there, if I want to arrange this maybe in a little bit more of a creative way, I can maybe drag these, up top or below and kind of create a little bit more of a dynamic sense with my design. But once I have all of that in place, all I really need to do is go to my photos or my uploads, because you're probably going to put your photographs here in uploads anyway, is just take my photos and just start fitting them into this design. And so in this case, that might be a little tricky. Let's see. There we go. So now that one's fit into that one frame. This image, I'll just make this my starter image and do that. Now that one's fitting in the frame, and then finally, if I want to make this one my last image, and you know, it's just telling the story of the ballerina. There we go. And now it's all kind of fitting together. I'm not really super fond of the really plain purple background in this instance, so if I wanted to change that, I could. You can actually mix you know, different color sets if you want to. You can take, you know, different shades of color. That's actually pretty good. I do like the lighter tone on that, the way it fits with the images. But that is an easy way to make a triptych using Canva. And then from there, since you don't have any Photoshop files to deal with in this case, I would just say that you're going to download the PNG file. And once the PNG file gets downloaded, you'll just name this. So I'll just name this ballerina tick. And then it's on my desktop, and then I would just save it to the Dropbox. Now you'll notice that it is telling you that Canva Pro is free for 30 days. So if you want to go that route, it probably will ask for your credit card information, so it's up to you. You do have sort of a free option, but if you want to look into that, you can. So Canva is going to be a little bit more limited in what you can do, but you should still be able to make a basic triptych with it once you have your photographs. So I hope that helps those of you that do not have Photoshop as an option.